Did you hear about Slobberty Slobberson?
No, what happened to Slobson?
He drowned in his own spit.
Well, that was going to happen one day. I mean, his name's Slobberty Slobberson.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, how would you know to name your kid after that? Isn't that kind of...
It's a
It's
premonition. It was meant to happen.
It was always meant to be.
Dun, 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 dun.
Right, so Roger Man today, yeah?
Roger, man. What was the other one? Was it
What
like...
I said to you earlier?
I think it was like Ocelot Man or something.
Yeah. I don't know, I just
I don't know.
randomly said that.
I mean, I don't mind. It's hilarious.
The kind of guy to be in the middle of a serious, really important meeting. I'd just be like, they'd be like, so what's your views on this? And I'd just go, errata. So it's like that.
And you just be like, David Waite's cucumbers. I'm like, excuse me, what?
Yeah.
So,
Alien versus Predator. Fuck.
So basically what happened God's sake. You know when we was at school, right?
Yeah.
There was an assembly. And it was every year in the school, because it was in primary school, so it was like nursery to year 6.
Yeah.
I don't remember what kind of award it was. It was like a Pupil of the Week award or something. And my little brother was about maybe 5 at the time, and he was like just fully convinced that he was going to win for some reason, right? And they announced somebody called Destiny as the winner, and then I hear just "No!" coming from him, and nobody reacts. None of the teachers batted an eyelid. Nobody in the crowd was like confused. It was just as if it was a natural reaction. It was obviously going to happen.
It was that. Oh, it was DJ. Never mind.
Yeah, that was it. It was like, and the winner is Destiny. No! Those were the funniest things to happen, I would say. Back in primary school. Because primary school was kind of dull, honestly.
Yeah, it was.
Apart from the time, the one I always refer to as Traitor. because I daren't mention his real name because I don't like him very much anymore. But anyway, like I was saying, basically they had this shelter built. I don't know why. But it was like they had this shelter built at the school, and he used to pick up sand and stuff and throw it on the shelter just to make a noise. And one day at the end of school, he picked up this massive log and a drain cover and threw those on the shelter. Keep in mind, the shelter was made of plastic. I don't know how it didn't break.
Strange. Was it reinforced plastic? Oh!
Well, the thing is, it might have actually been. Because if a heavy log like that or a drain cover didn't break it, then I don't know what. What is it made of? Yeah, did your teachers ever wrongly correct your spelling?
Yes.
Right, I used to spell weird. W-E-I-R-D. That's how you spell it, right?
Yeah.
But the teacher was like, oi, I before E, except after C, and changed it to W-I-E-R-D, and it was like, do you not know how to spell? You're an English teacher and you can't spell a word. It used to really annoy me because it would be like, oh, you spelled this wrong. It's like, no, I didn't.
When she went for the job interview, it was just, so, what are your qualifications? English class. Cool, okay. What's your dealings with children? English class. Just answers every question. English class is like.
You're hired. I saw this meme a while ago. It was, do you reckon this is how bus driver interview go? Sorry, I'm late, sir. You're hired. It's pretty accurate as well.
Yeah.
Because that's literally every single bus driver. It's just, sorry, I'm late. I was chewing on my chewing gum. We used to have a bus driver who everyone said looks like a Mexican.
Oh, did I ever tell you about Carlton's bus driver?
And I don't think you did, actually.
Yeah. Right. It was like a minibus, but the gear stick was really long and grey. And obviously, the vehicle, it vibrates on it because of the engine.
Oh, yeah.
And it moved, it kept vibrating, it was like wobbling, so I said it looked like a massive elephant's dildo.
Yeah, there was this...
The guy heard me and was like, oi, stop being rude.
Yeah, my bus driver, I swear he tried to kill me every time I got on the bus. Because I get on the bus, and I just start walking to where I usually sit, and then he just accelerate, just all of a sudden. And I'd breaking my neck trying to get to my seat. I'm like, oi, stop trying to murder me, mate. What are you doing? He did it to everybody as well. I remember this kid actually fell over because of it.
I loved to have seen that.
I remember this. The funniest bus ride I ever had, right, was there was this kid from Vale who would always talk to one of them on the bus I was friends with. And they went to the back of the bus and I went with them.
Vale.
And this this kid, the kid from Vale, right, he put on the funniest show possible.
Yeah.
First he started flipping off all the cars behind us. To which one of them actually started beeping at him, so he was like, "Oh God!" and he ducked down again. And then later on, he saw a spider and let out he made fun of the girls, and he made out like this really really exaggerated squeal, really loud as he could. And then at the very end of the ride, he went, "Usain Bolt!" and like bolted all the way down to the front of the bus while it was still moving. And he was like, he bumped into the bus driver's arm because he held it. I was like, right, listen to me, mate.
Buses are just full of special kids. I swear to God, the only normal person on my bus is me. I'm not even that normal. There's like this one kid that this girl like she's let him know about a million times. Like even the rest of the bus knows now because you know they shouldn't fancy him, but he fancies her. Like even the fucking bus knows, and no one cares. And he just tries. He sits behind her. And she's just like, go away. Like oh my God, I don't understand how people don't get the message.
That's kind of upsetting, to be honest, don't you think?
It is. I feel sorry for him. He's really small, fat, and ginger as well.
There's this girl on the bus where I used to try and attract, but never worked.
Yeah.
So upset. Dave, you're still treating those.
David, wait.
You're still teaching those kids to do it. Your perv throws a yogurt through the window.
That was amazing, Dave.
I remember
Carlton got soaked in it as well.
I remember you told me once somebody wrote David Waite on there instead of Mr. Waite, and they also put they pulled his tie as well.
You remember that time Mr. Waite framed me for the graffiti on his wall that had been there for like 2 years and it wasn't me at all?
Oh no, look what you've done.
It was graffiti from like 4 years ago. It even had someone's name, like James Proctor, written on it or something.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Because it said, I know him. But it's just, like, what? You know what I mean?
I got framed for something that's similar to that, actually. I think I've told the story before, but I used to have a toilet pass, so I could get out a class whenever I wanted to. And the one I would go to would be like this. Okay, now apparently I'm a barbecue sauce. All right, fair enough. But there was this kind of like a little bathroom where the the Asdan place was. That was the one we went to for some reason. And you would sign your name when you've been. I don't know why you would do that. Just so the teacher can know what kids have been to the toilet that day or something. A bit creepy if you ask me. But the thing is, I've just unlocked the character I've just unlocked is the woman player from Takamir. But basically I went in there, and the person who wrote it down must have used a different pen, obviously because he's smart. But there was literally a bunch of red felt tip all over the place, and with for some reason there was like YouTube poop quotes on the wall, and a bunch of like really like a bunch of racist and like offensive comments towards gays and Jews and stuff on the wall. And when I came back, I came to sign my name and I signed it in that felt tip without realizing. And then later on I got pulled into the office. It was like, "Have you been writing stuff on the wall?" I was like, "Wait, what? What are you talking about?"
Ashley.
There was literally, I remember at secondary school. This was the same secondary school after they built the second site. There was this one toilet cubicle. There would always be like just graffiti on the wall all the time. Like literally, I saw the cleaning lady, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm cleaning all this graffiti off the wall. Somebody keeps leaving it here." I'm like, "Why?" And she says, "Well, you see, when I clean it, it comes back the next day." Like they just draw like certain things. I've been in there while it was there once, because I saw something like that weird thing above the toilet. I don't know what it is, but somebody had drawn a middle finger and they put "to those who see this." It reminds me of when people copy and paste pictures in the YouTube comments.
Have you seen that picture? I don't know why you just reminded me of this, but it's the one where the dad tried to print a fucking YouTube video.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! My dad tried to print a video.
My dad tried to print a video. How does that even work?
Do you remember the story about me printing GTA?
Yeah.
Miss Ashley's printing Grand Theft Auto again. Here's a story that I think might have got past us because you were talking to DJ about Counter Strike. Remember that episode when I was third wheeling in my own video?
Yeah.
But somebody wrote on the wall. They must have stuck their finger somewhere, and then they wrote it in a certain brown substance on the wall.
Certain brown substance.
You know what I mean? That's right. Somebody wrote 7 on the wall in that. Like, I'm not kidding.
Really?
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Like, what the hell?
Considering.
And it's funny because we actually had this really funny assembly because somebody kept drawing like genitals on like the figure of the man and the woman and stuff. So, like, somebody got like 2 little pieces of toilet paper, put it in like a little bowl, wet it, and just stuck it on the woman to make it look like tits. And the head teacher was really mad. It was like, right, so listen up. There's been a massive amount of graffiti in the in the bedrooms, what? In the bathrooms. And obviously, like I told you, somebody wrote a certain swear word on the wall because my friend, the one who was called Traitor, he wrote the F, and he gave up for some reason, but somebody just added the U, the C, and the K eventually.
Yeah.
And he also tried to write. He was going to write something in blood. I think he was going to write kill in blood.
Because he like cut his wrist open or something.
No, he skinned his knee, and he was gonna write he was gonna write the word kill, like he was gonna write the word kill in blood, but he ran out of blood. I remember the head teacher. She was like, "There's also blood on the wall, and there's also someone's feces on the wall."
He skinned his knee, so he writ like kill.
I remember there was at one point, I don't know why, but we found this little like kind of hole near a tree. So we like kind of put a bin mud on it, and he was like, "All right, wait here." He went to the water fountain, came back with just a mouthful of water and spat it into the hole. And we started like mixing it together, and we got into massive trouble for it, even though it was not hurting anyone. What, we were gonna make like a chemical weapon or something at school? I'm not quite sure that's how things work. Make chemical weapons.
Yeah.
Why?
You invented the Powerpuff Girls in school.
Yeah.
Chemical X. That was an awesome show, to be honest, considering.
So,
That was
yeah.
like the golden times of like Cartoon Network. Can you remember those?
Yeah, I used to remember watching Ben 10 all the time, and now it's awful.
Tom and Jerry, the original Ben 10.
Looney Tunes is good.
What was
The original
Foster's
Scooby-Doo.
Home for Imaginary Friends. Remember that? That was awesome.
Oh, I think I saw that a few times.
And oh, what else am I thinking of? Scooby-Doo. What's New Scooby-Doo? And the original one too.
I used to love that.
It's awesome, wasn't it?
I think Velma was a lot better in What's New Scooby-Doo than the original, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like she got smarter.
She was a bit boring in the original.
What's funny,
She was a
right?
pointless character.
Did I ever tell you at the time I got Pupil in the Week for sitting in a bush?
What?
Hang on, I think I've got it here somewhere in my things, because I'm pretty sure I was going to say something extra to go with the joke. Hang on a sec. The game, just this guy standing at the counter just waiting for me to serve him. School story, Beverly something. School story again. Hang on a second. What?
David story.
These are stuck together. School rules, work rule, year one again. School rule again. Here we are. It was the very last one, of course it was. But yeah, one day, my friend was doing something and he told me to wait, like, I don't know what we were in the bushes for. He was like, wait here, and alright, I was sat in the bush and the teacher caught me and I got into trouble for it. I don't know why. But later on, right, it was the Pupil of the Week assembly. And I was just sat there like, great, who's going to win this time? Because whenever it was somebody I didn't like, instead of clapping, I would just clap using my fist into my hand. I don't know why, but I did. And it's like, just... But anyway, they announced me. Like they said my first name, and then they instead of using my middle name, they said sitting in a bush instead. I was like, wait, why did I get Pupil of the Week for sitting in a bush? I could just imagine some geek being like, I'm going to win Pupil of the Week for short again today. The winner is Ashley for sitting in a bush. Damn it, my streak is over.
Sat in a bush and you got an award for it.
Yeah.
How does that even make sense?
This is the exact same school where the worst punishment they could give you is a piece of paper that says I'm disappointed in you. That's pretty bad.
Do you remember that picture? It was that special kids school, and someone had written, "Dear motherfucker, I'm sorry."
Oh, yeah.
Can you remember that?
I remember that one. Yeah. You can't. You can't make that kind of stuff up. You really can't.
What was the other? What was the other funny one? It was like.
It was. Oh,
the
I
box
remember
a
what it
bear
was.
with purple hair. That was rest, and Bob attacked him.
Oh yeah. I remember another one. It was like when I'm older, I want to get a hat and put it on.
Yeah.
Remember when you set that purple hair one as your profile picture,
Yeah.
and it was like the teacher saw it and they were like, there was once
you
a bear with
pointed out
purple hair that was just a Bob attacked him.
That was the same class you pointed out the that car safety thing you did, and then you put that random picture of Mr. T.
I don't know why, but that reminds me of another piece of work I did, but I'm forgetting about it and it's really annoying me. I just remember there was another piece of work similar to that.
It's just like, remember kids, be safe near the road, and then it's just a picture of Mr. T just like smiling like.
It's like no, it was like, you know not to do car crime, so don't do it. End. There's some picture of an angry Mr. T.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I like how the first time we met was because we both didn't have our ingredients for cooking.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like my very first cooking lesson. The teacher was angry at me because I didn't have my cooking
The first time
stuff.
we technically met was because I was told to take you around the school, and I just took you around. I was like, there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go.
You didn't care, did you? You didn't care.
There's lower school, there's upper school. Good luck, see you later. Stuff like that, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah. And then we met again. Wow, nice and voice break there. We met again. We're good in the English lesson. Not English. It was cooking, and I was sat there drawing Mario in like an acid factory.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Hey, I'm Michael. How you doing?"
Yeah, and then you like became friends with Child as well, didn't you?
Yeah, and then we properly became friends in year 9 after Pleated Jeans.
Yeah, we just found that and we bonded over it. It's because we had our RM together in year 9, wasn't it? That's why.
Yeah, we did. We had. Do you know I actually got an F in RM? It's kind of funny.
You got an F.
Yeah. Yeah, remember when the fire alarm went off in RM?
I think I got a D because I didn't really finish my coursework. I got halfway through my coursework. So
You got a D for didn't finish.
Yeah, I got an F in my German exams because I didn't go to them.
Yeah, I failed drama because guess who didn't show up for the final exam?
Charles.
Yeah, he didn't show up and then I failed.
Jesus.
I was really upset over that. Literally, the only lesson I passed was not English, history.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I remember once.
Remember when Charles came in and saw that he got all G's and just got really pissed off and was like, "I'm going," and just went.
Oh yeah.
Like, can you remember his face when he looked at his thing and just went, "Nah, I'm gone."
He
And
did a
just ran
face.
out the school.
You know Dash's face he does when he sees Donkey Kong. Kind of reminds me of that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you remember? Were you there on Sports Day when this played "Don't Stop Me Now" and again? And I was like, again.
Oh yeah.
And I got really angry over it
Yeah.
because they played it. Remember that pain I was in that time, right? We went after the. We had to do like this 5-lap run around the field, and I was walking most of it because I got a massive stitch in my side.
I remember once.
I finished dead
Mr.
last.
Taylor, me and Spencer and I think it was Josh Bingley. Mr. Taylor said, "You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to leave this lesson until you finish the cross country." So me, Josh and Thingy, Spencer just went, "Okay, we'll walk it." And we walked it and missed about 2 more lessons.
That's actually really smart. I like that.
You couldn't do it because you said you could do it in your own time. Just like, sure, why not?
Yeah,
Just walk
once
down.
after school, right, because I didn't pass science, like Miss Cushion made me come in during the holidays to come in and do my extra work. I'm not kidding.
Oh Jesus Christ!
And at one point, right, she left the room, so the other kids in the school was like, "Hey Ash, come over here." We got this globe, we started throwing it to each other. I remember I had an argument with one of the, like, you know how every girl in the year was just the most nastiest person you ever met? I had a real heated argument with one of them.
Yeah, why were there so many of them that were twats?
They were all nasties. Like the group that we had, like we all had like our own little small group. We like the only decent kids in the year.
Yeah.
Everybody hated us. Like everybody,
Makes sense, does it?
like everybody was
Well,
just.
I don't really think I had any. I don't really think I had any enemies. There was just a couple of people that just pissed me off, so I avoided them.
To be honest, I think it might have been they were bullying me, so they bullied you while they were at it.
Yeah, I
They used
definitely
to,
got bullied. They'd say something to me, I'd be like, yeah, cool, whatever.
like, they used to say you were a retard and stuff. It's not that. It's just you have a really weird sense of humour, and that's good.
Yeah, it'd say stuff like that to me, I'd be like, yeah, cool.
Like seriously.
They never bothered me, did they? Can you remember? Can you remember one time that I actually got bothered by it? Turned around, I was like,
Oh yeah.
shut up. Oh, can you remember that time in RM when Josh was doing his work, but he couldn't see over the shelves, and Liam Benson let out that massive burp, and then Josh just randomly went really loud. Who the fuck did that really loud?
Oh my god.
Can you remember that?
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was amazing fun. That.
It was. It's just the way Josh went. Who the fuck was that?
I love that. I love that time when you had that wood and a hammer and you started advancing on people with it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. I think was it that, or was it like one of those things? I actually remember the time when you and I think it was Danny Lyle got this piece of wood. You put it in the wedge, started smacking it with a hammer,
Oh yeah.
and like Mr. Brister came in and got super mad at you. Remember that time I went on pleated jeans in the lesson, right? And all I saw was just it's like Mr. Brister's poking his head over, giving me this weird stare. His eyes popping out of his head.
And it like made you terrified. You're like, what?
Wouldn't it be really funny if it was like he didn't know, but there was like a secret head cutout thing?
Yeah.
Oh
That's
boy.
just there to stop you from messing around.
Yeah, I literally. It's funny because I don't really like. Ever since I left school, I haven't really had a temper anymore.
No.
Like I don't really get mad at people very easily. But the thing is, at college there was this guy who was making like a ton of noise while we were walking. The teacher wasn't doing anything, so I just kind of went, "Oi, shut up!" Like our teacher, right? He was proper sarcastic. I hated him because do you remember the stories I told you about Mel from the community college thing we did on Thursdays?
Yeah.
I could have sworn he was related to him. He was the worst tutor ever. Like, he used to... Like, I will admit that I'm not the smartest, alright? I will admit that fully. But he had to let me know that. Like, I would do my work and he would be so sarcastic. He'd be like, yeah, Ashley, that's great. And I'd be like, do you want me to smack you? Like, literally, he called me into his room to do something. And then when I was done, I just slammed his door because I didn't care. I wasn't having any of it. Like our English teacher was a bit like Miss Pym, but not as bad. Like she was actually okay. Because we actually had two English teachers. Because obviously I had to redo English, and you wouldn't believe we had to redo Mice and Men again.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
but like we had one teacher. She looked exactly like Curly's wife from the movie, just with black hair. Yo, you know, I remember once I met Josh outside the school because I was hanging out there at the end waiting for the bus, and he came up to me and said, "Hey, what are we doing for the exam?" And I think it was Matty who was with me. He was like, "Well, what's going on?" And Josh just turns around and says, "Hey, we have to do an essay on all the characters in Mice and Men. Who do you do? Curly's bitch." She's like the most underdeveloped character. I mean, imagine if we had to do it on the dog. The dog is old, the end. No, you have to do 3 pages. The dog is like you have like a 10 space between every single letter.
Can you remember when Jason used to always get his work done really, like he'd always do like 20 pages of writing and get like an E, and then we'd always do like 1 or 2 and we'd get a C.
Remember when the entire class... Remember when I got adoration from the entire class that time? Because Jason did like 20 pages. He got a D, and I did 1 page and got a B.
Yeah.
For the story. Everybody loved me for that.
Yeah.
It's such a shame because in the last few years of English we got moved, didn't we? Like we got separated from the lessons.
I know. I was moved next to Josh. That's when Mr. 8 used to be like. That's when Mr. 8 went off his head at Josh. But I was the one messing around.
I was always at the back.
I was messing around the whole class, and he was get shouting at me the whole time.
Right.
And then
you
the
know
one time Josh says anything, it's just like,
get out.
right. Like he didn't even say it. He laughed like the tiniest bit. He went like that, made that noise when I was getting told off, and he just looked at Josh and went right.
I still remember that time where Josh was complaining about something, and Mr. Wade just ran up to him and slammed open the door. Right, he put the door stop on. He actually grabbed his book, like his English book, kind of he just kind of scrunched up and threw it out of the room. He was like, right, get out now.
Can you remember when Josh ripped the whole table apart by accident? Like he was chipping away at it the tiniest bit, like he was just picking the table, and then all of a sudden, like half of it just went like that, and then just the way just stared at him and went, "What are you doing? Get out!"
Oh my god, I just remember that as well. He accidentally like split the table in half.
Just like it ripped off. It was just the top of it, wasn't it? It was just the veneer. He just ripped it off.
Didn't he like pull off the corner of the table?
Yeah.
He's just really quite annoying. All you hear is just.
Like he was just chipping his way in slowly, and then it just went rip. And I was sat on the same table, and he just looked and went, "What are you doing?"
Oh no! Look what you've done.
Oh, amazing.
And it was just the best. It was just. That was actually something similar as well in my first secondary school before I came to that one. We were sat there and it was like a really quiet lesson because the teacher was like, no talking, there's no reason to. I think we were writing a story. And while we heard we heard someone in the back go, oh for God's sake, I've got it all wrong. He like ripped up his paper, like threw it across the room. And the teacher was like, what are you doing? Get out right now. Get to the head teacher's office. And there was also the very same episode, the very same lesson, a bit earlier on, which all I hear was just like he was like ripping pages out of his book. We had to write our own story in the college English, and I was so excited because I remember I used to love writing stories in big writing at primary. My story, right? What we had to do was it was a bit weird. We had to think of a fictional character, but we had to think of a story of them in school.
Oh, that's
I don't know. Like, a lot of people, like, we weren't... Everybody was really upset because we weren't allowed to do Harry Potter because it's already in a school. Copyright infringement. But, like, mine was based on Amy Pond from Doctor Who for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I actually slipped myself into the story because the Doctor showed up. It was the 12th Doctor showed up on the field. After all that whole, the Doctor isn't real, it's an imaginary friend and all that. Yeah. On the last day of school, the Doctor actually appears. Completely by accident, he kind of materialises on the playground. And Amy's like, I knew it, I told you. And it's like, my character came in, like, the Doctor came out of the TARDIS and he was like, oh, what's going on? And, like, his companion was me, but obviously I didn't name myself. But I came out and I was like, Doctor, I think we've just proved ourselves real. And it was actually a really good story as well. It was one of the better ones I've written, I would say. Yeah. And also, I actually slipped a Ben 10 reference in there as well.
Oh yeah.
Like one of them saw the watch like on my wrist. I don't know why I put it on there, but it was like, oh wait, that's the same. And it's actually something I came up with earlier as well. It was like, hey, that's the same symbol that was on that 4-armed alien that cheated to win in the baseball tournament the other week. And I was like, no. I think I also slipped in a reference to like the Tails doll and the Demon Headmaster as well. A reference to the game thing that I told you about that I made up.
Oh yeah.
I slipped a few references of that in. And you know, I think I got like a B+ or an A for that story as well. The teacher must be a fan of like Doctor Who fan fiction or something.
Didn't you used to go to like Asdam?
I did, yeah. But I got kicked out. I got kicked out of maths because it was too easy. Oh, that reminds me. You're
good at maths. Go away.
Right. At one point, the teacher said you can write anything you want in your book. Right. I went to the front and I wrote, all my answers will be correct or else. Or something. It was like, my answers will all be right or else. And she was like, do not write this kind of thing.
All my answers should be right.
Or else. Literally, the only people in there were 2 girls, and at one point, I don't know why I did this, but I just stood up and went, suddenly, pineapples, and sat back down. We had Miss Prescott, she hated me. I don't know why, but she hated our guts. Well, she hated my guts at least.
Miss Prescott,
like,
breath.
just coffee breath, just, how are you doing? Like, she hated me. Like, I was walking, she'd give me a death stare.
I reckon she drank like 60 cups of coffee before she came to talk.
Yeah. One of the girls in the class, right? What they did was they took the number cards and like hid them around the room. And the teacher was like, right, that's it. But for some reason, on the last day of school, she brought in pot noodles for us.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but she did. Like the teacher brought in
Why
pot
bring
noodles.
Pot noodles of everything. She could have brought in like, what was it for like a treat? Like she could have brought in chocolate bars or something.
Yeah, well, she said she wants to. Should we get pot noodles? I was like, yeah, sure. She literally dragged me. Like, this is funny. She dragged me out of history to ask me what my favourite pot noodle flavour is.
you go out expecting to get told off, and it's just like, so.
I was expecting to get told off for just existing.
Steak and cheese. I don't think that's a pot noodle flavour, is it?
It might be. I remember there was a mac and cheese flavour at one point.
Which is exactly the same.
Oh yeah, that was brilliant, wasn't it? I used to do that every time. And then we just try this new and improved cheese sauce. It's exactly the same.
I never even tried the first one. I didn't even try the second one.
There wasn't even a first one. Yeah, there used to be this thing at my old school before they stopped doing it. You used to be able to get the pasta kings plain with no sauce.
Oh yeah.
And you could also get them with melted cheese on it.
Ooh, that sounds right. That sounds nice actually.
I can't believe they stopped doing that.
New improved melted cheese.
New and improved melted cheese, exactly the same brand. Remember the meatball ones?
Oh, those were good.
I remember at one point, this is really funny because it was at our first school. It was like the second day there, and for some reason, this kid had like some meatballs with his food, and he was like somebody was mocking him for something. He got really mad and he threw a meatball at him.
I can remember once in school I got like a week's detention. Do you want to know why? This was primary school. They gave detentions out of primary school. I don't know.
Weird.
I don't know why. But do you want to know what I got detention for?
Go on.
I flicked a pee.
Wow. Yeah, I actually.
And it hit a teacher in the ass, and she sat on me.
You know how I got that pupil of the week for sitting in a bush, right? I got it for another silly reason. Usually, I would be alone at primary school. Like I'd have like no friends because they'd all be playing football, and I would like walking or running around the playground for no reason. At one point, I ran around and then like the football hit me on the side of the head, and it went into the goal. And everybody loved me for the rest of the week because it won them the game, and I got pupil of the week for doing that. The amount of times, right? I used to be generally kind of smart when I was a kid, but I got smacked in the head by football so many times. I wonder if that's where all my brain cells went. Literally, you know how like how dumb I can be, right? About a week or two ago, I almost missed a shiny Pokemon because I didn't see it. I almost missed it. Do you know how much that would have hurt?
Shiny.
Yeah, I know, but how? Like I didn't see it, and it's so small you can barely see it in the battle. I looked at it and I was like, wait, hold on a second, I nearly missed it. That would have hurt.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Are you going to be tricky about this? I've never actually played Pokemon. I played like the first one, but then I never played anymore.
Get out! And I mean, you got to admit though.
Well, you haven't seen Star Wars.
I know, that's your revenge. Right. You know what they call? There's a few people that have only played the first games and never played the other ones, and they only think those ones matter. You know what they call them?
What?
Gen 1ers. And they're like the worst people that people think because they don't think the other games matter. It's like, I only like the original games. It's been 33 minutes. We should probably stop and do a new one.
Yeah, probably. Man.
Do you have any?
After the... Oh, is it still rolling?
Yeah. Do you have any? Do you have any stories about Grognak?
He's always watching.
What about Nasty Pasty Man?
He's always throwing. Oh, what was his ability then? He throws.
He throws combs. Yeah.
I don't know why I made that up. Just random fucking Nasty Pasty Man throwing combs at everyone.
That right there, that is the new Marvel superhero. Actually, no, it's actually an evil, so it's not really Marvel. And I'm going to end this episode with the best quote ever.
Yeah.
Banana slips on man.
Very interesting. Last second.